Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. How'd you like to go back in time and re-rate the games as they came out in a global scale? Well, that's what we do here. We last left off with Ultima. It was awesome. And we're getting so close to the end of 1981. I'm so excited. We have our next game, which is... Oh, this one's interesting. Check out the latest from Intellivision.
Soon, the John Geyer family will be using their TV to help compute their federal income tax, learn French, improve math skills, and quarterback an NFL team. Here comes the line of scrimmage.
All of that.
Introducing Intellivision, the new home video system from Mattel Electronics. Two components, each sold separately. Start with the master component, available now for super games like NFL football. To pass.
Go for it, Dad.
Got it. And for learning fun from the electric company.
Now this one's a little tougher.
Oh.
I got it.
And when you add the keyboard component available this summer, Intellivision can change your family's life. It simplifies financial planning, even custom designs a Jack LaLanne exercise program for you.
Play it, driver.
There is an entire library of Intellivision programs designed to grow right along with your family's interests. Discover Intellivision. It can change your family's life.
So the keyboard did not come out in the summer. This was the 1981 ad, one of the first releases of Intellivision, and it also wasn't released in 1982. So I showed this ad because that keyboard really never existed on the Intellivision. I would like to know if any parents actually exercised to the Intellivision, though. That was hilarious. So this game is Utopia for the Mattel Intellivision. Let's take a look at Utopia and see what it's all about. No, it did not. Here's the box for Utopia. As usual, they're trying to compete with Atari and the Odyssey 2, so the artwork is awesome. Beautiful watercolor artwork for the front. I'm not an art critic, but it looks great. Showing different landscapes. Not really sure and have never seen Utopia before, so this was going to be interesting. Let's flip it over on the back. If you were the ruler of your own country, how good a ruler would you be? Find out with a strategy game that captures the realism and problems of governing. Your goal is the happiness and well-being of your people. You make sure there is sufficient food for all. You take care of housing, schools, hospitals, defense, and the economy. Sounds simple? That's what they all say. Wait, this has a lot of info in the back, and if I'm reading this correct, Utopia is a strategy sim game for the Intellivision? What? That is ridiculous. All right, let's see if we have any other artwork for Utopia besides the box. Oh, we have the overlay. Got to have that for Intellivision. And every button looks like it has a purpose or it's doing something. And if this is a strategy game, I'm sure this is going to go beyond anything we've seen for the Intellivision as far as complexity. And we've seen pretty complex games, especially for the sports area. All right, let's check out the manual because I'm sure we're going to need it for Utopia. All right, let's see what in the world this is or how we play it. So 1 or 2 players... Oh, you can play it 1 player. Okay, that's good. If you've ever muttered, I'd certainly do better. I ruled a country. If I ruled a country, this game is for you. Utopia puts you in charge of your own island state. You control treasury, agriculture, industry, housing, education, hospital. What? No way. Mattel, slow down. Hold on. Let me just remind everybody, this is 1981. There is no Sim City. There is no God game. And we've already seen in text form on computers, or maybe if you consider strategy games that have the top-down hex view of maps, those kind of games kind of put you from a top level. But no, we have not seen anything like this. This is for the console. They need to slow down. It's 1981. Do they realize it's 1981? This is way ahead of its time. How it executes, though, I'm really interested to see. So object of the game, if you do a 1-player game, is just score the most points as possible. They reflect the overall well-being of the people and are gained by earning and spending revenue to improve living conditions on the island you select. If you do 2-player, it's to outscore your opponent, so you play against someone else, and then causing rebellion, loss of revenue to your opponent's island. So it's 2 islands on either side? No way. Yeah, the Grandpappy. I like that's a good way to put this one. I've never seen or heard of this one until just now. Both games are played by the same rules if you do a 1 or 2-player game. Choose the island to control, ignore the other, use the hand controller for either island that you're on. There you go, with the overlay on the joystick. Overlay hand controller frame so they cover the keypads insert into the console cartridge slot. If I even did see this one, because I got these in bargain bins way after the video game crash in North America, So I wouldn't have had the overlay, and I would have been totally lost with this. But if you see the overlay, it says you have buttons on the side that will display your total score and your current population, and then it can display your last single year score, and then that cursor moves the cursor and the boats is for the Intellivision disc. When you see the game title, press the disc. Yeah, how do we play this? How do you play a strategy game for a console in 1981? Well, we play strategy. How do you play a simulation game? How do you play Civilization in 1981? I think that's what it sounds like we're going to play. And then you pick the length of round, and then you can also hit the clear key to erase stuff. When the game starts, you see 2 islands. So there's a screenshot of what we'll see. It has how many gold bars are in your treasury, time left, and so forth. It also has, oh, I love this. I love how the manual tells you what things are, because there's only a few pixels for every game we play. And so they tell us that's the rain clouds, that's the pirate ships, that's the tropical storms, that's the hurricane. Oh, of course it is. That's the hurricane. And then schools of fish. Computer controls these elements, which come and go at random. You can win by accumulating points, not money. It's all about points still in 1981. Your gold bars are meant to be spent. Each player starts the game with 100 gold bars. Select items to purchase from the budget expenditure table. Yeah, this is so in-depth. And it had to be Intellivision to do this of all the consoles we've seen. Oh, right, I bet. Use the disc to position your cursor over the area of your island where you want to build or plant crops. Do not use the cursor to place rebels on your opponent's island or by a boat. Rebels are placed randomly by the computer, and boats automatically appear in your island harbor when you purchase them. So there's another example of the islands right above my head. Check your treasury and make sure you have enough gold bars to buy the item you want. So you have to make money and spend that money. Find the item on your keypad, press that key, and then enter. So you got to type hit the keypad for the item you want, and then enter with using a cursor. By the way, this is way before a mouse. We don't even have computers using mice like publicly. The item symbol will appear on your island where the cursor is positioned. The cost will be deducted from your treasury. You can purchase items at any time during the round as long as you have sufficient funds. So it's a turn-based game, but it allows you to do multiple things during the turn. They call it a round in this one, so I don't even know if it's a hybrid. Is it a hybrid real-time turn-based game? Oh my gosh, my head is swimming. This is nuts. At the end of a round, all action freezes for a few seconds. You hear time's up signal. Your treasury display changes to show your score for the last round, and the game resumes. Action picks up where it left off. Your treasury display returns, and you get any earnings from the last round. So here's your budget expenditures, and all this is in the palm of your hand, on the joystick, on the keypad. You have a fort, a factory, acre of crops, school, hospital, housing project, rebel soldiers, PT boat, fishing boat. I can't believe it. Keep track of your score and population. You can use that using the buttons on the side of your joystick. Check the score during any time during the round, and it says the top action button is total score, right action button, previous score, left action button is island population. They're trying to use every freaking button for the Intellivision controller. You automatically get 10 gold bars even if you don't do anything. That's good to know. So if we're really lazy, we'll still make some money. And I'm going to plug a second controller or have one ready for us when we start. Be aware that your census count, so you can provide adequate food, housing, schools, and hospitals for the people. Remember, 1 housing per 500, 1 fishing boat per 500. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. For a console, this is nuts. Keep an eye on the weather. You can't control it, but you can anticipate it. They have rainstorms that help your crops. Try to plant where the rain falls most frequently. There's no set path for the rain. You'll just notice general patterns. And then they have tropical storms. They bring deluge. You can help you either crops or destroy them. On rare occasions, you can destroy a building or a boat. There's also hurricanes that just lay waste to everything, it looks like. As in real life, the faster a hurricane moves, the less damage it inflicts. Oh my gosh. Be on the guard against rebels. If your people are not satisfied, rebels can spring up on your island. Your opponent can also pay to establish rebels on your island. You can do the same to your opponent. Oh my gosh, this is nuts. I'm amazed of all this. And it's really not that long of a manual. When we've seen other strategy games for the home computer, they could be 20, 30 pages long. This is only a few pages to explain this whole game. That's something this ambitious. Keep your ship sailing, so you use the disc to move your boat around, and the disc also moves your cursor around. Watch out for invisible sandbars when you're near the shore, or regain control of your cursor. Press the cursor key, and it'll reappear, and you can move it using the disc. Once the boat is anchored, it will not move. Wow, and then it also has about pirates and the PT boats, about how to control them. You can't control both the PT boat and fishing boat at the same time. You have to control one at a time. Wow, and then how to win the Governor's Award, which I guess that's a challenge in the game. Start a round with greater number of shorter rounds between, making the rounds fast between a few seconds. Buy a fishing boat in the first round and hang on to it. Get housing established early in the game. Hospitals increase your productivity. They also boost population. Don't overplant. Don't drop your... Oh, man. Yeah, so really cool. Not a whole lot of tips, but they went really quick explaining how the game works for something this complex. All right, I'm interested. Here we go. It's at some point in 1981, we got Utopia for the Mattel Intellivision by Don D. Daglow. Way to go, Don. All right, so we have some really nice artwork around us, and then over there on the far left side, that's the overlay that you slide over your joystick. Now, this game, I can't believe how we're going to play it, actually. I got 2 controllers plugged in, and to give you a little context, because we've played everything up to this point. So all video games up to this point, there has been no console that's tried to do essentially Civilization, Sid Meier's Civilization in the 90s yet. The only thing we've seen is some strategy games or top-down level games where you're having to make decisions, but majority of them are still text-based. There's not any graphic-based managerial, like owning, deciding what a country does and making decisions of a whole country. So they're doing this on a console. It's almost like this should be on a computer, it feels like to me. All right, here we go. So first thing we do is just click the disc and then ask term of office. How long do we want to play? So we'll do 30, even though we won't do the whole thing. So 30, enter. We're doing this all on the keypad. How long do we want turns to last? I guess we'll say 30 seconds. Keep everything 30. Yes, lots of options already in the beginning. And then we're in. So I'm over here on the far right side. I am the red square controlling this side of the island. And then I got the second joystick plugged in for this side of the island. And it looks like we got our gold reserves at the bottom. I can check out my score. It looks like, yeah, score's 0 still. So if I want to plant something, let's do... I got to hit, again, on the keypad, I want to do like a fort. I got to hit the number 1 for the fort and enter, and boom, there it is. So I got a fort on my island. What else do I want? How much money do I have? So you'd have to refer to the manual. Oh, is the time's up? So there's the time up for the first round. I've made a fort. Everyone gets 10 gold after the round's done, and it is like a real-time game with the weather effects happening. The timer's ticking down, and then things are happening. You can see this. Let me move my red cursor over here. A rebel just showed up on my island, and I don't see it moving, but the ship's moving and the weather effects moving is so cool. It's really like we're playing a hybrid, real-time, turn-based strategy game or simulation game. And then rounds over again, I get another 10 bucks or 10 gold. Okay, so let's plan something else here. And you'd have to look at the manual to know what everything is and the cost for it. So let's try a band of rebels. Let's get this guy out here. Will he land in this spot? Oh, it sends it to the... So I just send it to the other island. So you can thwart your enemies by putting rebels over there if you have enough money. It was only a few gold, so it worked. But this is so cool that you're moving a cursor around, and we don't even have a mouse with home computers popular right now. We've seen a few games use it. The one that comes to mind is like Kicks in the arcades that we saw as a cursor that moves around the screen, and a few other games that do that. But there's still the trackball in the arcade that are using something similar to what feels like a mouse. But this is the disc on a Mattel television. I'm moving a cursor around. Crazy. Okay, so let's put down... Now I have to refer back to the manual because there's a lot that you can select from. So now I really want to pay attention to my budget expenditures. So over there on the far side, we have the fort that I've already put up. We have the factory, acre of crops. It's not too expensive, but as long as you got the money, you can do it. Fishing boat, PT boat. So let's put in, do we got enough money for a school? Sure, let's put a school in. That's the school. Okay, with the bell. Got it. So let's put a school down here. Maybe it'll be attacked by rebels. There we go. School is in place. And does it tell us our points? Okay, so there you go. You push the button on the side, it tells you your score and totals. I got a score of 1. At least I'm doing better than nobody playing. But look at all these rebels on my island. You have to take them out by, I guess, putting up forts or attacking. Let's see if we can get a ship in the water to appear. Do we have enough for that? Going back to the manual. The digital manual. You just had it right by your side whenever you were playing this in 81. So that is the PT boat for protection. But it looks like that's 40 gold, so don't have enough for that yet. I'm only down to 40, but on the other side I could put it down. So getting player 2, let's pull up that and get a PT boat in the water. Does it work? Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's go over here. How do I control the PT boat? Will it let me? It let me put it in the water, but I want to be able to sail around with it. Okay, so we can go back and forth now, go back to the other side. We got all these rebels on the island. This still blows me away that I'm playing a game like this. In the beginning, it's a lot of information. I wouldn't say I'd say even more difficult than the other sports titles for Intellivision. You're very overwhelmed with a lot of information. It's also something new and different. So having played all this stuff from the beginning of video game time, seeing this on a console and playing this on a console is overwhelming considering everything else that's available right now. But at the same time, I want to learn more and play more. I want to have someone to play with, figure it out, try things out, and then just being able to play a game from this perspective and this scope. It's like a God game I never even heard of. It's like a simulation game I've never even heard of at the time. It's crazy. Yeah, where's the arcade building, right? We have, let's see, a hospital. I don't think I have enough to put that one down. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I don't even have enough. It tells me. Okay, into that round's done. We are looking terrible. There's rebels all over the place. We got 2 hurricanes coming through. They might kill people for us. I don't think that school's going to last long. Can we put another fort up? Let's see. Another fort here, maybe. Oh, it destroyed some of the ships that were down there now. I don't think I have enough. The game's being played on what appear to be as a grid. So, like, I have the cursor. If I put the cursor right here, I'm not going to be able to put the fort down. I'm pretty sure it's going to tell me no, or it's not going to work. Oh, no, it did. Okay, it did. It put the fort down, but you can see it put it in the place where it needs to go. So that's nice. It's not perfect, or it's not expecting you to know exactly where it is, but gosh, it's so cool. All right, so for a game that we've never seen before, highly ambitious, a game that I want to learn the mechanics and play as a ruler of a country and do the best I can. You'd be studying the manual in 1981 to get as much as you could. Yeah, this is another example of how ambitious the Intellivision is. It's so cool that this exists. It blows my mind. It's almost like you need to stop trying so hard in Intellivision. I'm sorry, but Atari, they already got the numbers up, and they're selling the console better. But, oh man, it's too bad this was only on... I don't know if this was available anywhere else. That is amazing. All right, so Utopia is a tricky one because we've never seen this for a console. And you have to play long enough to see if the mechanics really work, if what they're promising is going to happen. But I'm still going to say, for all the games we played at the time, I want to play more, longer. I want to have someone else to play with. I want to check it out. And if it was 1981, I'd be really interested. So I'm going to go 4 stars for Utopia. Anybody got any shout-outs or ones they want to say in the chat? Go for it. Bear in mind, we played it all. We haven't seen anything like this for a console. We've seen a lot of stuff in text for computers, and everything else for computers that's strategy-based would be like something from SSI, but that's more like a board or war game kind of one. Oh, nice. High scores. Nice. All right. I love it. And with that, let's see what our next game is. We're going to the TRS-80 Coco, and this is Vampire Castle. Another one slipped in at the last second. We have no other information for this except the screenshot that you see. So we're booting up and playing some Vampire Castle, released earlier in 1981. We're kind of getting everything in before we finish the year. Here we go. Another one in BASIC. Now, Vampire Castle is going to be re-released later. This was the first copy we got. Thanks again, L. Curtis B, to know that it is the first one. You can see it's very rudimentary text-adventure game. I'm in a study. I see fire in the fireplace. The brick in the fireplace. Obvious exits are east. It is the usual text-adventure game we've seen. Kind of reminds me of a ripoff of The Count by Scott Adams. But what kind of market is this where you need to make a ripoff game for The Count? Was The Count really that popular that people needed to make a game kind of like The Count? All right, so what do we want to do? Can we do anything in the fireplace? Look. Fireplace. Let's test this text parser. We got nothing? It didn't even say huh or what? Look fireplace didn't even work? Okay, look fire. Can we look fire? No. Oh, not looking good. Okay, let's go east. What? You don't understand east? East. What? It doesn't... Oh, man. It's one of those text parsers. We have to say go east. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so we're already thinking really low considering the other text adventure games. We're in the entrance hall after saying go east. I can see a timepiece and a sign. Okay, get timepiece. I before E, except after C. It did not work. Get timepiece. Spelling. It comes in handy. You don't see it. Wait. Oh, did we already get it? Wait, it took it. It took it. Wait, it took the timepiece, even though I spelled it wrong. Okay, cool. I'll give you some props for that. So we got the timepiece. Can we examine? Does it understand it still? Timepiece? No, it does not understand that. What about look? Can I do look? Okay, look works. That's a start. But, oh man, this text parser is a little rough. It's still the two-word text parser. It kind of makes me want to have Scott Adams adventure games, which is just a little scary thought. Okay, so we got the sign. Read, sign. The vampire wakes at midnight. Oh, cool. They might keep a time where we have to finish this game fast enough or else the vampire wakes up and kills us. That would be awesome. Oh, the only 3 characters. Oh, I see. So we could do what? TIM for timepiece and then it would get it? So that's why it doesn't matter how I spelled it. It still understood it. All right, so vampire wakes at midnight. Can we go? Let's go west. Oh, no. We got to say go west. There we go. Oh, we're back in the study. Never mind. Go east. Go east. Now, I'm so used to the game. Just push E, man. It needs to go faster than that. Okay, so let's go east again. Go east. I'm in the library. I see a scroll. Can we read scroll? Yeah, you don't have it. You gotta get scroll. I knew it. I knew it. Okay, and we see a bookcase. I bet the bookcase has a hidden place to go. But if we do read scroll, I typed it too fast. Read scroll. Not all exits are obvious. Oh, it's a clue. A clue in Vampire Castle. All right, so I think we've had enough. Obviously, I didn't look up the walkthrough for that one. Kind of hard to come by exactly what to do for this game. This one is the first iteration of it. There's several of them that we're going to see later down the line. So this isn't the end of Vampire Castle. We will see a lot more. For the time, though, it's not really super impressive with the mechanics of the game. Story takes place and is a ripoff of The Count by Scott Adams. So I'm going to say, of all the games we played, it's bad. It's 2 stars. It's playable if you got a text adventure game, so I'm not going to rate it lower, but 2 stars for Vampire Castle. All right, let's press forward and see our next game. Yes, we're next going to a big one. This is Vanguard in the arcade. Oh, so good. So excited for this. Here we go. Let's check out the artwork for Vanguard. Look at that advertisement flyer. This is the one that was in Japan with an old man shooting lasers out of his eyes. It doesn't even tell you that it's a shooter or a space game, but it makes you want to play it. And the screenshots down at the bottom are kind of reminiscent of a Taito game, but it is not Taito. If we go to their next one, this was sent to us by Century for North America and other in different regions. Vanguard, Century's first talking game. Their first talking game, but this is not our first talking game. What it says is not nearly as important as what your customers will. It's not just a game, but an adventure. But no, it's really not an adventure game. This is a shoot 'em up, and an awesome one. It goes horizontally, diagonally, vertical. It just wants to mix all these different shooter mechanics in that we haven't seen before. We've seen horizontal, we've seen vertical, but this is the first time we're going to have diagonal scrolling shooter. It's so cool. Oh, that's true. We will see in time. It does have speech, though. We love talking games yelling at us. So here's some example of the arcade cabinet for Vanguard. They still have the wood paneling. Nice throwback to the 70s. And then another example from another angle. There's our PCB for control panel. Interesting controls. We haven't seen this. The game gives you 4 buttons to fire 4 different directions. We've seen 4 different directions, but we haven't seen it done in this style, where you have the joystick and then 4 buttons. We've already seen before Robotron 2084, 2 joysticks, where you move with one joystick and you fire with another. Vanguard doesn't do that. 4 buttons would still work, though. Yeah, there you go with the controls, with an example of the arcade marquee. Yes, I believe that is correct. So let's take a look at the manual. This is the Century manual, so we can read it. Vanguard, Vanguard, Vanguard. Service manual. Did they tell us about the game? Or various bits of lore that we're going to forget whenever we start the game? Let's see, user information. Yes, yes, yes. Don't electrocute yourself. Got it. We won't be putting the system together. Vanguard is the newest addition in the line of Century video games. With its colorful visual effects and usual audio effects, this game is sure to be a challenge even to the most experienced player. And yes, it is a very challenging game. In this game, there are 12 tunnels, or rounds, to accomplish with 8 stages of play in the first tunnel, each varying in the remaining 11 tunnels. A tunnel barometer found in the upper right corner indicates which tunnel of play your spaceship is in, so it has radar, kind of like we saw with Defender and Rally X and so forth. The first stage in Tunnel 1 begins with a commanding voice bidding bon voyage to the spaceship. The ship journeys through a tunnel bordered with mountains of cubes, hued in blue, green a short distance in the tunnel. The spaceship must protect itself by firing in 4 directional missiles. When the ship has successfully completed its journey through this zone, it proceeds to the challenges of Stage 2. In the second stage, the spaceship travels upward through the Rainbow Zone. So this is where the diagonal part comes in. Then the spaceship completes its journey through its zone, enters the unknown dimensions of the Stick Zone. So a multi-stage game, kind of like Super Cobra or Scramble. So it's going from round to round, as it calls it here. At least round makes sense than the other ones we've heard. And then after that, the 5th stage of play, maneuver around mountains, enemy bases, and barriers. And then you go to the Stripe Zone, which is another one that ascends through the Rainbow Zone. So it's going to change up the game a little bit by giving you different things to look at. That is the wave of the future, because that's what 1981's been giving us, at least for shooters. Does it say anything else? Last round. Oh, and it tells us about the end. The commanding voice says, congratulations. And then you start a new round, if you can get through all of that. And we're going to skip through an installation. We're not installing arcade cabinets here on Chronologically Gaming. For different versions, we have the Century version, the Japanese version, and the one that was published by SNK. So here we go. Developed by Tosei. And we're going to Japan to play the SNK version. And at some point in 1981, here is Vanguard. And this is with all the artwork. So we're really zoomed out. Kind of hard to see everything. We're going to zoom this in. But this is the Century look with an example of the control panel at the bottom. And let me switch this out because we got some other ones. Check this out. In Italy, this is the Zaccaria Vanguard. That is phenomenal. That is so cool. Look at the way they're doing the neon, and we keep seeing this with Zaccaria arcade cabinets. It is so amazing. Look at the controls down at the bottom. They even did everything in the neon. It makes me want to go to an arcade in Italy and play this right now, especially if it was 1981. And then we also have the inner bezel, which again is making the screen really, really small. But take a look at the artwork that they had for depending on what region you were in. Very high quality. It's like they know there's lots of space games out there. This will really draw you in and make you want to play it. Yeah, so cool. And then we also have just some of the side views. So I want to do the marquee. There's the marquee for Century. And then look at the marquee for Zaccaria. It is almost like a totally different game with the color style, but it's awesome. All right, so we're going to go with Century, and then I'm going to zoom this one in. There we have the artwork around the sides. While the attract mode's been playing in the background, it's been kind of small, but we want to play some Vanguard, so we're putting a quarter in and pushing start. All right, name that tune. It's really close. All right, now we changed it. We're in the bonus round. You go through the energy field, and you're now invincible, and you just blow up enemies by walking into them or flying into them. And then it runs out, and then here's my... Oh, I can... All right, I'll do it again. I'll go invincible. Oh, that was an easy start. Oh, they already got me. If you look at the top of the screen, you can see the radar of how we're going into different zones or modes. That music really doesn't fit the game. It feels like I'm playing in a carnival right now. But they do have me surrounded on all sides. Really utilizing the controls for the game. I don't know how I missed that one. It's nice to hit detection help me out. Oh, and he sniped me. I'm really hoping Vanguard allows us to continue to play with our coin. Like, it leaves it leaves a checkpoint for us to continue. The end. Yeah, we've already seen firing 4 different well, we've actually seen firing 8 different directions already, but for a vertical shooter, I think there's only one other one that does this four ways. Players can be allowed to start the game from the zone and with position is. All right, let's go. Yes, it does. Oh, this is great. So we can just keep putting money in and play. If you got the dough, you can keep playing Vanguard and go all the way to the end. Why aren't you guys dying? Making it tighter quarters to come through here. Looks like my shot doesn't go through their bullets, though. And it feels like I'm in a constant red alert right now with the sound effects. It takes a little bit to get used to the 4 buttons to control, because it feels a little smoother having 2 joysticks and using the second joystick to fire your shots in different directions instead of the 4 buttons. Alright, so you do need to have skill enough to get to get through. As soon as I say that, of course, I die. Yeah, the sound seems a little bit repetitive, or it's going off over and over again as if it's a warning sign, because I don't think that's correct. Yeah, right? The end. You didn't die in spectacular fashion. But I just want to get through the zone. It looks like I'm near the end, at least it says so on the radar. Oh, yeah, so we already got the new enemy type. So even though I died, it moved on to the next section or area. We didn't move on necessarily to the next round. Gosh. Yep, it's tight. I'm a little more familiar with Vanguard for the 2600. And this is my first time to play the arcade version. Gosh, yeah. So the way the enemies appear and shoot, it doesn't give you a whole lot of time to decide to move or make a reaction. That's true, and we haven't heard the voices. They're supposed to be the voices. Easy now, nice and easy. Then we go to the diagonal. Oh gosh. Gosh, so hectic. Reminds me of other games we played that it's hard to take your eyes off the screen. Gosh, because it's so fast. Not even there. Yeah, when you get to the very, very end, after the last round, then there's the boss, right? Okay, moving to the next one. Now we're in Stripe Zone. Racking up the points. Oh, okay, they give us something to dodge. That's cool. Oh, if I went down, I could have been going through that side. We got the invincibility. The force field allows you to go through while you're invincible. Nice. Can I go kill? No, can't get that guy. It is a really intense game. Very fast, shoot 'em up, giving lots of firepower against the enemies. We're obviously seeing not the perfect example of what the arcade cabinet had with the emulation. So the voices aren't displaying, and the sound is not accurate. Which won't be a fault to the score, because that's just, you know, the way it is with some of the games. You can't recreate exactly as it was in the arcade. Gosh. They're really generous with checkpoints, though, allowing the continue to happen really close. See, it took over right where we left off, and now we're in a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. It really feels like the sound or the music is put in as public domain, and it's not the real song. Like, it was supposed to be playing something else, so they just said, "Oh, quick, throw something else in there." Oh, cheap. Oh no, if you die at the boss, then, okay, that was it, because the boss had lasers on the side. Once we went through, got shot by the lasers, the boss destroyed us. And we get to put our score in at the end. Very nice. Nice touch. The boss, though, didn't have the checkpoint to allow us to continue where we left before. As soon as we died at the boss, then we just immediately warped back to the beginning again. Wow. All right, there we go. So that's good enough for Vanguard. Now, so going to the arcade, sadly, we couldn't get the exact experience of the arcade system. Not going to be faulting that, so that we obviously understood the music wasn't correct and the voices were not there for Vanguard. So I'm going to still say it is still a very, very good game for the time. It is something we haven't seen before, doing a diagonally scrolling shoot 'em up and allowing you to switch between the two. So cool because of that. Yes, yeah, I'm with you. So I'm going to go for a definitely above average, excellent game for the time. For this display, it would have been lower, but if you went to the arcades in 1981 and we're going to play Vanguard, it's a 4.5-star game. 4.5 stars for Vanguard. All right, we're in the V's in 1981, playing all the games we couldn't find the definite release date for. Let's see what our next game is. We're going back to the TRS-80 Coco, and this is Vegas Gamepak. Let's take a look at Vegas Gamepak. We don't have any other pictures besides the screenshot, so we're going right in and playing. This is by Dan Nelson. Released, was this summer of 1981? I don't remember off the top of my head. So another one of the stragglers we got at the last minute. This is Machine Language. And we won't be playing too much of this one like usual. If it's any slot machines or casino-style games, then we're going to have a little snippet of it and then move on. This one is part of a pack that was called, I think, Vegas 5-pack first, and then eventually got released as this one. All right, so we want to do 1 or 2 players. There we go. First player's name, Chrono. Press any key to continue. Oh my gosh. Chrono, chips desired. Chip limits 10,000. Okay, let's do 5. Give me 5,000 chips. And then what do we got? Let's see what Vegas Gamepak is. It is slot machine. It is blackjack. It is up and down the river. It is casino craps, and it is Keno. First of all, blackjack is like a slot machine, but the other ones aren't really popular casino or Vegas games. I was looking for like roulette. I guess craps is good, but up and down the river and Keno. And where's poker? We don't have any poker here. Let's try just blackjack out. Now, we're not going to play all the game modes. Bank has 50,000. Your pot is 5,000. Limit is 50 chips. Chrono, place your bet. Oh, right now? Okay, let's do 50. Press any key to deal the cards. Nice. So the resolution mode they're picking here is reminiscent to what we saw on the Atari 2600 when they were doing cards or poker. And then the same thing we also saw on the TI-99, making the cards not realistic to real life, but really blowing up the ace or jack or whatever the number is so you can see. Do we want to stay? What do we got? We got 15. Let's hit. Hit me. 17. We'll stay. What do you got? Go. Oh, and of course the house always wins. And we just lost 50, and we can continue to play blackjack. This plays really well for using the keyboard only without a joystick. It's really simple and intuitive. Works pretty good. That was lucky, but it usually happens whenever the house does that. All right, let's go big or go home. Let's do 1,000. Wait, can we do it? Oh, we only can do 2, I think, right? Yeah, we only do two characters, so I just bet 10. So this one isn't as big. All right, so we got 9. We want to hit me. 19. Stay on that. Go. 11. Come on. Yes. Oh, the one that we bet the least. Okay, so that means we could do 99, right? No, not 90. Nope, 80. Oh, limit's 50. That's why. So 50 is the highest you can go. You can't really go big or go home. All right, we got 11. Let's go a hit. 21. Of course, stay on that. 16. Yes. Dealer busts. Fantastic. So cool. All right, so that's just a taste of one of the games you can play in the Vegas Gamepak on the TRS-80 color computer. The other ones wasn't super familiar with. Slot Machine's an easy one, but like if you have a fruit game or slot machines, we're really not going to be playing those extensively. But it does have options, which is pretty good. So for the time, I'd say this is fairly average for everything else we've seen, around 3 stars. Anyone in chat want to agree, disagree? For Vegas casino games, it's not something everyone's super passionate about, but go ahead and throw them out there. I'm going to say average, perfectly average for 1981. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's press forward and see our next game. Since we're still in the V's, we got another big one. This is Venture, released in the arcades. Been really excited and waiting for this one. I got a chance to play this in the arcade, I think whenever I was in high school. Sometime maybe 15, 16 years old. So I have played this. I thought it was so cool. Such a great idea whenever I played it. So let's take a look at the artwork for Venture. Claim your treasures with Exidy's Venture. Yes, Exidy. The Exidy. So we got 2 different advertisement flyers. There's the back of the first one. Horrible choice of font because you can barely see what it is. The unique aspect of Venture in its series of games within the game. We strike the player's character. Yeah, it's so hard to read. It's the Venture legend, it says here. Recovered by Winky in the dungeon. Are you really named Winky in the game? How sad is that? But it breaks down a little bit of what this has. Microsynthesizer audio system, self-diagnostic tests. That's kind of for the operators. Multilingual instructions, Exidy organized bonus multiplier, and the player vanity table are some of the things that this boasts here. Man, I wish they had better font style for it. Yes, from the popular sorcerer that everybody knows. Then we have another advertising flyer for Venture. Here it is. Claim your treasure with Exidy's Venture. You can see there it is. Yes, we are Winky, which is trademarked. Did anyone want to steal Winky? Well, we got trolls and goblins that come after us. Oh, look at little Winky. He looks adorable. You're playing as a nerd. Exidy introduces a new venture in video games. You stand in the doorway of discovery, trembling with excitement, ready to pounce on the adventure of the unknown. So are you ready? Venture is a 1 or 2 player color video game full of surprising treasures. Venture is a series of games within the game. It's played in a dark dungeon of multi-levels. Player forges through one level room at a time, displayed in the screen as a floor plan armed with bow and arrow. Player learns to avoid confrontation with the wandering green hall monsters by entering the sanctity of a room. Once inside the room, the chamber immediately grows to full screen size, creating a game within a game. I don't think we've heard that term before on the channel, even though we did check out Route 16, which is the same idea, but you're a car driving around kind of like Rally X. I don't think they said it game within a game there. Screen image returns to original whenever a treasure is safely withdrawn. Player no longer has access to the room. They have to win all the treasures on a level before they go to a new level. So we go get the treasures, and they're taking the idea from things like Adventure on the VCS, Atari VCS, but making it into something digestible as an arcade game. Each room is a new, completely different challenge. For example, one room has a pot of gold of high value guarded by goblins. Another has a magical bow, giving the player special powers. Other rooms have hazard conditions like shrinking walls, magic shoes, deadly ooze. So lots of cool stuff that you see for like a dungeon crawl game for a role-playing experience, but this is not really role-playing. So ambitious, yes. So Exidy had the right idea. While we're here in the satanic panic, we got to play something that's fantasy style, right? Oh, very good. Yeah, really excited for the Coleco one when it comes out. After strategically and skillfully collecting all the treasures, the player ventures further in the depths of the dank, threatening dungeon. Each level becomes increasing more difficult. Upon successful passage through all levels of the dungeon, the player returns to level 1, because every game at this time just repeats itself and goes back to the beginning. And there we go. We can finally read the words. It features new microsynthesizer audio system, left or right-handed fire button, 8-way joystick, international graphics. I don't know what that means. What does international graphics mean? And introducing Winky, a friend you'll be meeting again in future Exidy games. No way. Is he the mascot of Exidy? Look at Winky. And then they give you some more technical information about the cabinets there. There's the example of the Venture arcade cabinet. Very classic. Really fits into the golden age of video games that we've seen in the arcades. And then the PCB, you can see there, our control panel is the 8-way joystick, and then the fire button. And you can be left or right-handed. That's awesome. First time any arcade games boasted that. I'm sure you can just switch your hands around if you wanted to. And then there's our arcade marquee with our logo. Oh man, this one's a good one. We have the manual too for Venture, the technical manual for 2.0. Got some cool artwork there. Playing on the fantasy tropes that we've seen. What does it say here? That advertising flyer, I think that was it. Does this have anything about the game itself? It looks like this is only technical. Game logic for the PCB setup. General description about audio, memory map. Yeah, the table of contents, I'm looking for... I think the advertising flyer has the most info. This one is a really lengthy manual, and the manual has nothing about the game concept, so we'll breeze by that one. For different versions, we have version 4, 5. We're going to play version 4, kind of like we saw on the manual. So this is Venture, released at some point in 1981 by Exidy. The Exidy. Man, imagine the days when Exidy was on top. Take a look at the artwork around the outside. So cool. And if you saw the arcade cabinet along with this, it's pretty eye-popping. Now, I'm not going to leave this up the whole time. We're going to zoom in as it does the attract mode. But let's see if we have any other artwork for this one. What else do we got? No, that's it. All right, so down at the bottom, they give you some instructions on how to play because it's kind of a more in-depth game. But I would say Adventure really shouldn't be too difficult to pick up and play. It kind of speaks for itself. So it's explaining the treasures you got to pick up. You have a bow and arrow, recover the lost treasures, beware the creatures in each room of the hall monsters. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of lore, but how much lore do you want to know about Winky? If you know your character's Winky, does it make you want to play the game and be lost in the character? Not me. Dungeon passages. Okay, so let's zoom this sucker in. And play some Venture. Putting a coin in. That's pretty cool. Way to go, Exidy. I like that. We grab our bow and arrow and let's go. Winky's off. All right, so here's the first view. You are a single pixel, or 4 pixels, really tiny. But you can see I move around on the bottom of the screen, my little red dot, and enemies are chasing after me. I can shoot, and if you think this isn't impressive, what the impressive part is when you go into a door. It zooms that room in, expands the room, and now you're going into like a mini area. No, don't kill me. Oh, and you can walk back out again. No, I want to go back in. And reset it for us. Darn. Alright, so let's see if we can sneak around, grab the diamond. Got it. So we got our treasure, and we get the heck out of here. Uh-oh, enemies are coming. Can we take them out? Let's see. Oh no, he's invincible. Run! So it's like kind of a way to escape. And once you get the treasure, then it closes that room off, and you move to another one. The style... Wait, I thought I shot it. Maybe I need more shots. This style of game is... The only other one we've seen from 1981 is Route 16. The game where you play as a car and you drive around. But it does the exact same thing. You start from an overworld. Die! I got infinite arrows, right? Oh, cool. And they disappear? That's a nice touch. Okay, we don't have time for this. I'm going to move around. Oh, but if you touch the bones, you die. Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, this format is so cool. Let's go in this room. Let's change it up. So we're now in here. Oh, it's the same one I had before. So don't touch the dead bones. Make our way, grab the treasure. Sweet. Okay, yeah, I'm beginning to like Winky. I can relate to Winky. Alright, next room. Who are these guys? Goblins? Oh, such a cool animation. The other thing to point out is the sound effects are awesome. It really what makes you want to play more. We also have a little ditty going on in the background. All right, let's see what happens with these snakes. So don't touch the body. That's what the takeaway is. Let's just go. Go, Winky, go! Nice. And that level's complete. Gives us the score multiplier. Oh, so cool. And then you move on to the next floor. And it keeps track of all your treasures at the top of the screen. Oh, this is a big one. Okay, we got spiders in here. Is that the damsel in distress? Go! Oh my gosh, I don't know how I made it out of that. So anything on the overworld map you can't take out. Wait, how do I get over there? Oh, the walls change. Sweet! Yikes. Now, the enemies are a little different than what we've seen from other games. They are, once you kill them... Can we keep going, by the way? Let's put a coin in. Oh my gosh, it resets! So everything's gone. There is no checkpoints. When you play Venture, you start all the way over right at the beginning again. I'm amazed. I really wanted the checkpoint. I wanted to keep my treasures. Now I really have an incentive to not die. Oh, that's awesome. You can shoot the walls away? Can I sneak by the walls? Let's see. So cool. Good job, Winky. I think one of them was an apple. Yeah, this one's an apple. How is that a treasure? The diamond makes sense. Come on. Got it. Nice. Alright, so making my little dot around. I do not want to die at all now that I know how the enemies work. So the enemies fall down dead, but their remains can still poison you, which is kind of unique. The enemies don't necessarily go away. If I touch that pile of bones, I'm going to die. It's taking the viewpoint like we saw with Berserk, but I love the whole concept of game within a game. That adds a lot more to it. Alright, so we're on round 2. Got lots more treasures to collect. Oh, darn, I got too close. Look at the presentation, too. Presentation's great for 1981. Sound, visuals, how it signs you up, or sets you up to start playing the game is great. Nope, just go. Oh, gosh. That was close. Okay, let's go to the center one. Let's see what's in here. I went through the door on accident. Okay, we got a crown. No, went too far. So this game would have benefited from an eight-way dual stick because I'm having to. Let's see. I'm having to move the direction I want with the joystick. Oh, that's not good. Let's go over to this side. But then whenever you fire a shot, you still move. Wait, what? I feel like this is a trap. It is a trap. I'm also looking for, is there a time limit, or... Oh, I see, the enemies are like the evil Otto. No! So they eventually show up and take you out, similar to Berserk. But the walls don't electrocute you like Berserk. So, big plus. Man, I want it to continue. But you start all the way over again. This game's great. I want to keep going to get all the treasures. But you get reset at the beginning. So we're going to do a little finagling. I want to go into the menu here. I want to switch out and see what the dip switches have for us. Is there a way... Let's get more lives, 5 lives, and let's do that. Let's get the most out of our mileage for our last round of Venture. Oh, very good point. Yeah, with the presentation of the music, each room has a different song is awesome. Oh, there we go. Now we got some lives. All right, come on, Winky. How far can we go? Let's get all the treasures. We know the first 3 rooms. We got those down. The enemy movement is totally random, too. Gosh. All right, there we go. Get out of the way. Is that, yeah, it looks like a golden bowl of rice. Yum. Alright, let's see if we can get through this one. Winky only shoots one shot at a time, a la, like, Space Invaders. Oh, that's good. The walls don't electrocute me. I'm so paranoid with Berserk, thinking the walls are gonna kill me. Get that snake. Or it might be rope on a string. I don't know what they are. Every room is playing a public domain song. It's almost like the history of chronologically gaming and music we've heard so far. It's all the public domain songs from the other games we've checked out over the years. There we go. Level complete. Okay, I take back everything I said about Winky. You are pretty cool, and I really hope you are the mascot for Exidy, and we see you again. Does anyone know if we see Winky again? Does he get popular and we see him later? Go, 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 go! Whoa! Alright, get out of there. Let's go to the top one. Alright, this is the one that tries to do the trap, but it's not going to work. You have chosen wisely. Come on. We gotta get out of here. Oh, I see. If you shoot him, you're kind of got stuck. Does it count that as a treasure? No, I gotta go get it. Okay, let's sneak by this guy. Oh, they're starting to get fast enemies on the overmap, too. Alright, let's try this again. Without shooting, we'll just sneak by. Can we do it? Nope, nope. If you guys would come down here, that would be great. It looks like they're actually dodging my shots. Go! Oh, man. That was so tight. Okay, let's go over to this side. And this is the one that's going to switch it out. Need to prepare for this guy coming at me. Oh, I was still ready, but he got me. They color code the treasures for different floors. That's awesome. No, I did it on accident. After you shoot them, they're still able to kill you. Now, comparing this game to Route 16, I would consider this one better with presentation and gameplay. Having the 8-way joystick and you're not as a car moving around. So the gameplay here is better. We gave Route 16 a 4, which is still really good for 1981. It was a great game. This one, I say, excels, considering if you wanted to compare it to Route 16. Die! Okay, now just carefully move by. Wait, if they totally disappear... Oh, okay, if they totally disappear, then you can go by them. Nice. Oh, no, I'm trapped. Oh, my gosh, I don't know how I got out of that. Our game characters are just getting tinier and tinier as we play, which is really funny. Alright, let's just avoid these guys. We're running. Did I just pick up moonshine? What treasures is Winky going for here in Venture? Nice. Got a high score, got an extra life. Looking good. We're moving forward. What? They're disappearing enemies? Oh my goodness. This is perfect. 1981, the eponymous game that makes you want to play more and see more. What's the next round going to look like? What's the next level going to look like? Oh, there's the game over. So Venture is doing that. Way to go, Exidy. I am so impressed. So for all the games we played up to this point, I'm going to go full on 5. It is the best, one of the best games you can play. And we played lots of games in the arcade. While it doesn't have as much popularity as Donkey Kong, as Frogger, Centipede, and so forth, it's still up there with one of the best video games you could play in 1981. Who's with me? If you're here in the chat, tell me 5 or give me a good reason why Venture is not a 5. Because we're considering everything we've seen up to this point. I could argue it a 4.5 because, you know, it's not top tier like Donkey Kong or one of the extremely popular ones that everyone's familiar with now. But everyone should know about Winky and Venture because it is awesome. Oh, the different music for each room? Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, we're going to go 5. 5 stars for Venture. That is so cool. All right, so with that, we're going to reach the end of our evening, putting our video game playing on pause. We're almost there. We're almost at the end of 1981. After we finish the rest of these releases, we just got a few more stragglers, and then we're going to move on to 1982. Really excited about that. That's it for this evening, and like I always say, check out Winky. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without RetroArch and Launchbox. Please tell your friends there's some crazy guy out there trying to play every single video game. You can always check out Chronologically Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We will catch you next time.